No, everybody's awesome, man. I wish I could have talked to Matt more, but he just seemed like he was kind of like getting yanked in 100 directions. So
Yeah, it's a busy week.
yeah, well, I don't know.
I just always love how open Connor is. Like he's just an
Connor
open
is
book.
awesome, man. I really like Connor a lot.
Yeah,
Like you like to pick his brain for a while. Like he's so damn smart. He's got a lot of good ideas. It sounds like.
yeah, like how he was sitting there at the table and we were all just throwing stuff at him. He did the same thing at Mobile. He just sat at the table and had everyone around him just throwing stuff at him, and he answered everybody's stuff.
Yeah, you can tell he loves what he's doing too. It's kind of fun. I don't know. It's kind of fun because I don't tend to like the analytics types of guys more. Like I tend to like the guys that are more film and
same.
And he's definitely analytical. It's kind of, but he doesn't.
Yeah, I talked to him about it, and like he'll use it. He incorporates it more than Matt does, but he doesn't like. He still goes on a lot of film. He's told me.
Right. Yeah, because analytics is important, but I still would rather watch film and then use the analytic to help accent it, I guess.
Right.
So I was kind of going to also on this one be like, this is kind of the last time for Owner's Manual. I think we'll talk about the draft players.
Yeah.
And then focus more, the next show. I figure we could do it in a couple weeks that kind of talked about, the value of Devy players versus rookie players. Cause we've gotten that one quite a few times. And how this time between the Devy draft and the rookie draft, I like to try to trade my rookie picks for Devy picks. Because people will get all gaga over the ones that are available.
We could even do an episode where, like, upcoming rookies, like you could do, would you rather have Judy or Ross? Or, like, because then that's
DK, yeah.
Or DK. Sorry, I guess it didn't make more sense.
Yeah, I got you. I know what you meant though. Yeah,
be like, do DK or Chenault, or DK and Ross, or Judy, and so on.
Irritating,
especially with the 2020 class being what it is.
Right. I'm in my Pigs 2. The Pigs 2 are Devy auctions going on right now, and I keep getting outbid, and I just want to start stabbing people. God damn it. Somebody outbid me on Eno Benjamin. Trevor Lawrence.
He's the Arizona State guy, right?
Yeah. Trevor Lawrence is at $350. I only have $340 available, so I'm not getting him.
God.
There's a copy of Etienne available, and he was over 300 too.
I mean, he's gonna be solid though.
So yeah, I gotta try to get some steals in here. Right now, I'm the leading bidder on Matt Corral from Ole Miss, Jamar Jefferson, Chuba Hubbard, Jalen Rieger, T. Higgins. I'm the leading bidder on all of those, and I only have $90 tied up in all 5 of those. So.
Oh well, hell.
So if I can win those, I still want to try to get like the.
How much is Higgins for you right now?
T is only like $25. I don't know why. Somebody's gonna get him. Somebody's gonna take him. I'm sure. He isn't gonna go for 24. That's for damn sure. Schnault's at 141. Jerry Judy's at 103. I'll come and snipe some bastards here in a little bit. Tyler Johnson is only at $20. No, I gotta kill that. Hold on. I need to bump that shit up to like at least 30. Rondell Moore is only 71.
That's not bad.
70. So I'm gonna bump him up to 75. Who else did I just say?
I did my first patron too today.
Huh?
Have you patron? How you subscribe to a podcast or show?
Oh yeah.
I did that for the mic'd up for Miller and Mello.
Yeah, I just saw you post something about that. I didn't know what that was.
Yeah, they have like 5 tiers. So the first tier is you get 10% off merch, one exclusive segment a week, and something else. It goes all the way up to $250 a month. $250 gets you like a sponsorship spot on the show.
Holy shit.
50% off merch, 4 exclusive shows a week, and something else I can't remember. It was just like, holy shit, I'm not giving you $250 a month.
No, that's crazy. I did when
it's more than my car payment. No, that's more than my car insurance.
When Gabe has one, and I put $5 a month toward it since he's made songs for me and graphics for me and all kinds of shit. So
right,
I figured whatever. Gabe's cool. He's never asked for anything from me, so I don't mind giving him a couple bucks a month. I thought about asking Tyler if we could just have a Patreon account as part of our,
yeah.
But all right, man.
Once draft season's over, I'm gonna really focus on the show. Like right now, I'm doing so much writing and ranking and grading.
Right. I think most of our like right now, I'm having trouble with the Devy side of it because I'm focused on so much on the draft.
Yeah, I'm out on Devy right now. Like I'm so disconnected.
Every day I'm trying to read a little bit of the Devy report, the Devy watch, the one that I sent you.
Yeah.
Every day I try to read a little bit of that, and see how far my rankings are off from theirs, and they're a little ways off. So I got to figure out why, and like things that I could change and adjust. But right now I'm just so focused on the draft, and like I'm probably going to start writing some more about defensive players too. So I sent out 3 DMs to players tonight. So
who'd you message?
Blake Cashman. I'm hoping he gets it. I forgot all about him. I sent one out to Felton Davis from Michigan State.
Yeah.
And Caden Smith. So trying to go for some guys that are down a little bit.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
My God.
Some guys that are down a little bit. So yep, I should do that. I should reach out to your guy that you like too, the tight end.
Foster Moreau.
I thought it was somebody. Hold on. I was thinking. No, I don't know. I haven't really. But I want to get like some of these running backs that did really well in the combine, and like I want to get Raquel Armstead. Holy shit, he had a great combine. Him, Alex Barnes, some of those guys that just, Justice Hill. Although Justice was just on, stick to football. So
yeah.
All right, you ready, man?
Yeah.
I'm whooped from this weekend still, man.
I wrote 2 articles at work today, and I got 3 more to write tonight.
You're nuts, man.
Well, I did winners and losers on offense and defense. That was 2 articles. I'm doing a rumors article from stuff I read and saw in Mobile, in Indy. Doing an AB landing spot article, and then something else. I have it all written down because I kept forgetting shit. Crazy. Stocks for DHH because I want that moolah.
Gotcha. Fan-sided pays, don't they? Or
yeah, I haven't. It's really tough because it's like they have 2,000 contributors, which is what I am.
Holy shit!
So it's like I'm fighting with 2,000 people.
Right. I think I want to try to put out a rash of articles in the next couple months. And then I want to kind of watch some sites and see if I can kind of recruit myself somewhere. Like, kind of try to get where I'd like to be, I guess,
Yeah.
Mainly. But I don't know. There's just, you look every day, there's I feel like every 3 days there's a new site popping up. I'm like, holy shit. Like, it's going to get oversaturated, and I'm worried that, 90% of them are going to fail if they don't be careful,
Well, that's just it. There's so much, and there's so many things you can talk about.
So many podcasts. I don't know. There's just, I worry about oversaturation a little bit. But we just do what we do, right?
We'll be fine.
I don't plan on making money at this, so whatever.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. I love doing it. So, all right. Hopefully I can get through this intro without stomping all over myself 28 times. All right, I'd like to welcome everybody to Devy Owner's Manual. This is episode 13, your source of knowledge for Devy strategy, Devy players in the fantasy football landscape. This will be one of the last times we focus on the draft player, the players eligible for the draft this season on this show. Andrew and I will talk more about them on the Devy Happy Hour. And then in a couple of weeks, we'll be back to give you some more Devy knowledge. Before we get started, a special thank you to Chris Allen at Chris Allen FFWX on Twitter and Adam Wilde at AP Wilde of the Dynasty Owners Manual at Dynasty Manual for having us on their podcast network. And while we're talking about the draft and the combine, Andrew and I were at the combine last weekend. So Andrew, say hello to everybody.
Hello. I'm able to say hello because I'm going to give a shout out to two people, Eric Holcomb and Mike DeWine, the governors of Indiana and Ohio, because they used their plow trucks yesterday. Tom Wolf, the governor of Pennsylvania, didn't, and I almost crashed. So thank you to the governors of Indiana and Ohio to start the show.
Oh, you don't get me started on that. Our governor today just proposed a 45-cent gas hike to pay for our shitty roads. So
yeah, well, that was the other thing. The roads were bad too. So yeah.
You know, if I knew that 45 cents was going directly to our roads, I would agree to it in a heartbeat. Our roads are horrible in Michigan, but I have a feeling 20 cents will go to the roads and 25% will go to a new mansion or some crap for the governor. So
we digress. I said I didn't want to sound like C-SPAN at the beginning of our podcast series, so we'll get away from that.
Oh yeah. So we're gonna dive in this week to the combine. We were able to see a little bit of the combine and hang out around a bunch of people talking about the combine, and people that are smarter than us or people that love the football as much as us. And we got to talk a lot this weekend with different people, and that was a really good time. If anybody gets a chance, I would highly recommend going down to Indianapolis and just kind of soaking in the atmosphere, because it was just a blast, man. I absolutely loved it.
What was your favorite thing that happened the whole weekend? We'll dive into that real quick, and then we'll get into results.
I don't know. Just being, like I said, just being down there. We both went to the stick to football meetup at the Two Deep Brewing Company. It was fun just being around. Because sometimes in my daily life, I don't meet people like myself. Like the guys that I work with and the guys that I interact with on a daily basis, like at home, don't give a crap for what I do. Or,
right.
I can talk to them a little bit, but it's way over their head. So it was nice to meet people like me, and it was, it was awesome. And the guys from Stick to Football, I can't say enough about. Connor Rogers is just gracious and brilliant, and I actually love talking to him. And Mello was hilarious, and Matt was just getting yanked all over, but I was starstruck when I met him, so it was kind of cool. And then we were sitting at a bar with Chuck Pagano, which was awesome too. So
Greg Williams was over at the bar too.
Yeah, who cares about him? I was worried he's going to put out a target on me if I got too close for him. But anyway,
I would have to say my two favorite things were seeing you starstruck when I just casually introduced you to Matt, Connor, and Mello, like it was me introducing you to whoever. And having lunch was great and everything, like we said. But the highlight of the week was probably I don't think I told you about this either, so you'll hear this for the first time. At JQTV, part of the Stick to Football Hall of Fame, Saturday night we went to the bar. We saw Doug Williams, we saw a bunch of NFL reporters, Matt, Mello, and everybody else. And there was this lady I'd seen, and I couldn't remember who she was, but she looked familiar to me from NFL Network. And JQTV says to her, or he's standing near her, saying goodbye to Matt and Mello as we're leaving. And she says something about Rashawn Gary being a mama's boy and potentially being overrated. And he loves Rashawn Gary. So he started doing, he had his back to him and he started laughing. And I was like, what are you doing? And she says to him, what's so funny? And I'm like, oh God almighty. And he goes, I just don't understand why it matters if he's a mama's boy, and more or less just defends Rashawn Gary to her. And she's like, well, you're entitled to your opinion and your way of thinking, and handled it great. And I said to him afterwards, I said, "Do you know who that is?" He's like, "Just some old lady at the bar saying Rashawn Gary's a mama's boy." So I had to look it up because I wanted to make sure I got it right. It was Shireen Williams, who was inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame last year as the first woman to go into the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Oh, Lord.
For covering the Cowboys for 25 years.
Oh,
and
man.
She's inducting Gil Brandt this year.
Oh.
And I was like, JQ told off a Hall of Famer at the bar.
Nice.
So
yeah,
that was the highlight of the weekend for me, was JQ telling off a Pro Football Hall of Famer. In a polite way. He wasn't rude about it.
And I mentioned the, Connor and Melo, but the Hall of Famers were just amazing, just
Dan
great
Barnes
guys.
And Ant are fantastic.
Just so funny, man. Like I absolutely loved everybody I met this weekend. It was awesome, man. It was a great time. Like I said, it was nice to meet people that were, that crazy about this as we are. So it was cool, man. Very cool. I would yeah. And then we also got to meet a couple other DHH guys, So it was great, man. It was a good time. So I'd recommend it to anybody. But we're going to go real quick. I mean, I think every podcast I listened to in the last couple of days has gone over the combine. That's what we're going to do real quick. We're going to just kind of go through who we really liked, who we thought kind of hurt their stock, whatever. There were some performances that really stood out, but there were some that, mainly just verified what we've already known and what we've seen on tape, that there were some guys that just validated themselves, that we thought, yeah, okay, let's see it. And they freaking showed it. So first up, we're going to go quarterbacks. Andrew, does any quarterbacks that stood out for you this weekend?
I would have to say Tyree Jackson really stood out. A lot of people have been talking about him since then. We were watching when we were at the combine. He was doing his broad jump, and he comes up kind of limping, and he jogs back to the locker room, and he's being real weird with his leg. But then he comes out and runs a 4.59 with his size and frame and everything. And now the Cam Newton comp is really working its way through the NFL and draft world. So he has a cannon for an arm. I haven't dove into all of his stuff and given him a grade yet, which I look forward to do. But I would say out of the quarterbacks, he probably came out the best. Dwayne Haskins was what everyone expected, so he didn't really hurt or help himself. And then obviously Kyler Murray weighing in and measuring what he did, I think is pretty much closing the deal that he's going to be number one pick by the Arizona Cardinals. They're saying, Matt was tweeting about it, and everybody else was talking about how the worst kept secret all week in Mobile. I got to quit saying Mobile. In Indianapolis was how much Cliff Kingsbury and the Cardinals love Kyler Murray. And then there was that rumor running around that Josh Rosen called ownership and everybody crying, asking if he still has a job, and which I haven't heard that anywhere else, so I dismiss that. But I mean, the quarterback market's insane, especially with Rosen being thrown into the mix and everyone else. So I'd say Kyler and Tyree came out the best this weekend.
Right, definitely Tyree. He's a guy that would benefit from a couple years behind somebody.
Yeah.
I would love to see him in like a place like maybe San Diego, where he would be able to sit for at least 2 years. I think he's going to take a couple years. Or, behind Carolina, behind Cam.
I would like him in New Orleans.
Yeah.
Because they're not going to re-sign Teddy, and his big arm down with Michael Thomas and Traquan Smith and Sean Payton. I mean, that'd be perfect.
Yeah, I hope Breeze has more than a year. That's the only thing. I mean, I hope he does. Yeah, I hope he does. And then they got that freaking Taysom Hill crap, whatever they're doing with that. That drives me nuts. Yeah, I think Haskins, from what I've heard and what I saw, I haven't watched him throwing as much, but it was valid. He kind of put his foot forward. I guess his accuracy and his deep ball looked a lot better than they had thought in the drills and everything, which was good to see, but he also wasn't under any sort of pressure, which is what what was his kind of nemesis in Ohio State. So
I wasn't muted when I did that, was I?
It's all good. That's why I paused for a second so I can cut it out. Sorry, I paused like, okay, I'll cut that out. Anyways, yeah, but other than that, I mean, there's a couple at Easton Stick showed pretty good athleticism,
Yeah.
But he's not going to be much, I don't see. So I still, I don't know. I am starting to cool off on the idea of 4 quarterbacks being taken in the first round.
I think they're going to be taken. I just think they're going to be overdrafted.
Yeah,
the only two that should are going to be Kyler and Dwayne, are the only two I would pick.
I'm starting to wonder if there is going to be 4.
I still think Elway's going to come about Jacksonville if they sign Foles is going to be taken out of the mix, you would think. And then the biggest question mark is going to be New York, whether New York's just going to stick with Eli and go one more year or whether they invest in Haskins.
Right. So I can see that's the 3 I see realistically. Kyler first, Haskins in New York, and then Locke in Denver. I don't see another one in the first round. But Washington's
the only other one
that I was
going to say Washington's the wild card.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting. I mean, we keep comparing it to the 2013 class with EJ Manuel, Geno Smith, and Mike Glennon. Now, only one of those were in the first round, but the way the league's going now, it's quarterback. And if you don't have one, you got to get one. And sometimes you overpay for it.
But I can see Washington, they can get anybody in the second round that they can get in the first round. So they have really no reason. I don't see any reason, but that team has also shown some poor management and choices in the past. So who knows what the Redskins are going to do, honestly. I've heard they're comfortable with Colt McCoy as well. So who knows, man?
Yeah.
All right, running backs. There was definitely a lot of movers and shakers in Indianapolis this weekend at running back. Some guys put up some crazy good performances and really kind of cemented themselves. Yeah, I'm really going to let you take the floor first, but do not talk about Miles Sanders because that's one I got to kind of toot my own horn with. So,
yeah, you're good.
Who impressed you in Indy?
I'll first start out by calling out my own self with, I said Elijah Holyfield last week was going to dominate, and I'm pretty sure he did pretty much the opposite of that. The running joke is that he still is running his 40 time, running a 4.78 and a 4.81. It just doesn't match what I saw on tape. That's just really, really upset me. But who knows? Teams, he can go to his pro day and work on it and get better. Winners, though, I would definitely say are Travis Homer. David Montgomery, everyone's worried about, and I'm not. So running backs, a lot of them just kind of kept even keel. People were freaking out about Devin Singletary as well. I'm not worried about him either. So, and Jacobs didn't run, and I think he made the right decision because a lot of people were underwhelmed with the running backs and the way they were performing. So I think Jacobs not running made him look the best out of everybody. So, and rankings for me aren't going to probably shake up too much. So the only one that really hurts is Elijah Holyfield, just because I was wrong.
Right. I've moved Miles Sanders up. I really liked the way he put up this weekend. Just across the board, he had a great 3-cone. His 40 was, God, I'm losing myself in this sheet here. Right on 4.49 officially. I just liked the way he looked when he was catching the ball. A guy I was starting to warm up on the last couple of weeks, and I've talked about him quite a bit. So I was really happy to see him show out. Travion Williams looked a lot better than most were expecting as well. So that felt kind of good. A couple guys that kind of wowed a little bit was Alexander Madison, a guy I want to look from Boise State. I want to watch his tape a little more. I haven't gotten to him yet. And then Alex Barnes had an amazing SPARQ score, one of the highest in almost every category.
Like Barnes' tape a lot.
So yeah, and he's got really good size too. 6'2", he's a hoss, man. So I really want to dive into him a lot. Yeah, great scores all the way across the board. I don't know. We're gonna dive more into their actual I don't know what you use, Andrew, SPARQ score, RAS score. I kind of like to look at them all, and everyone that I've seen for Alex has been just stupid, like one of the top ones in the past recent years. So,
yeah, no, I use a little bit of everything, but I'm just looking at my rankings real quick. I have Barnes ahead of some names that people like Alexander Madison and Bryce Love. I have him above them already. So,
right.
Just tape grade wise. So once I dive into everything else, it'll be interesting to see where he jumps up to.
Right. So yeah, there was some other than that. I mean,
and you talked about Miles Sanders just to reflect on how well he helped himself in the DHH rookie mock that we have going on. He 111.
I was mad too. I wanted him at 204 so bad.
I got him in the 3rd round of the league rookie draft.
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah.
So I'm very happy with that.
Yep, I had him 4th on my list for this year, and I might fourth running back, and I'm pretty happy with that. I think behind Jacobs, Montgomery, and Darrell Henderson. So that's where I have him, Miles Sanders. So other than that, there wasn't anybody that really like hurt their. I think Devin Singletary was kind of a disappointment. Everybody was expecting him to test a little bit better. And that kind of stinks because I think he's an immensely talented. If you watch his tape, he looks ridiculously talented, and he kind of underimpressed. Everybody thought he'd be a lot faster than what he was. And so, other than that, there wasn't any names. Justice Hill had a great combine, but he's a little bit smaller. I think he'll probably be like a 3rd down type of back in the NFL. So.
Yeah, I like Hill though. I mean, right now from who I have graded, Hill's my running back 6. So, I mean, he could probably finish in that right around there. I haven't updated it because Elijah Holyfield's still in my top 10. So that'll be changed.
All right, man.
These last 2 positions, though, is where the fun stuff
this is starts. a lot of surprises, a lot of craziness. So in wide receivers, let's not talk about DK Metcalf.
Another thing about JQTV, Matt was posting on Twitter how he was getting really mad that people were saying the 49ers were going to take him at 2. So I showed JQ the tweet, and at the Stick to Football meetup, they had you write down your questions for draft on draft. And he put on there, 49ers are going to take DK at 2, and he put it in. And if you listen to the day's episode, I'm throwing it that way. Yeah. So I apologize for that, Matt.
Yeah, I did listen today, and that's 14 Dolphins questions.
It was Dolphins. What it was.
So all right, wide receivers. There were some just amazing performances. Obviously capped off by the surprise of DK Metcalf running a 4.33 40, but then also posting ungodly horrible agility drills, which kind of had been one of his downfalls. Just real quick, I'm just going to dive into DK real quick. I'm not going to do too much with him because I've heard so much about him in the last couple of days. But one thing I had noticed, and one thing Travis May, when he broke down his tape, noticed that he has a very limited route tree. But I do think
receivers do, though.
Yeah, I do think it's something that can be taught. Apparently, I need to be taught. That can be taught, and I'm impressed by him. And I have him at 2nd on my wide receivers. But man, what a performance! Like. Whew.
We were at this. I apologize to everyone. We're going to keep talking about what we were doing this weekend. Just let us toot our own horns for one little time, and it won't happen again, I promise. I remember I had Elijah Holyfield dominating, so you can hold that against me. But back to what I was saying. We were at the Stick to Football hangout, oh my gosh, we were at the Stick to Football meetup, and DK came on the TV, and people left the bar to stand over by where we were in front of the TV because they wanted to see what his 40 would be. And when he ran that 4.33, we all just looked at each other and were like, wow, because nobody expected that. Calvin Johnson ran a 4.35. Julio ran a 4.33, right around the same. Julio had a broken foot, though, so I'm still more impressed with Julio. But, no, my big one from the weekend that I was shocked by was Hakeem Butler. Again, we were at lunch when Butler ran, and we told Connor, because he couldn't see, hey, Butler ran a 4.48, and he was like, whoa. But then he thought I said a 4.84, so then when he saw it, he was like, whoa, Butler ran a 4.48? And he was just even more dumbfounded than before. So Butler and Metcalf with their frames running what they did, I think, is phenomenal. Metcalf obviously had the downfall because of the agility drills. Hakeem Butler still has spoons for hands, so he has to fix that as well. But and then, it's still fun to get excited about it.
And then in our DHH mock today, Hakeem Butler went 1.03 after Kyler Murray and N'Keal Harry, which was kind of surprising.
I couldn't believe that.
Yeah, I actually thought I was going to take him 4 after they took Metcalf 3, so that's where I was heading.
Yeah,
I'm just going to kind of go down the list. A list I have is in alphabetical order. Miles Boykin, holy crap, did he have a good showing? He's another guy, 6'3", 220, put up 4.42, broad jump of 11.8, which I believe was the highest.
Yeah,
his vert was only 12, which is not great, whatever.
Still.
But man, another guy that he didn't have the college production because they never had a great quarterback at Notre Dame. Like they've had turmoil like every year at quarterback that he's been there. So I want to dive more into his tape and break down what he does,
Yeah.
Your boy Emmanuel Hall had a great showing.
He's the guy from The Little Villager with his spoons for hands. That's who I think of every time I see Emmanuel Hall.
Right. Paris Campbell, ran the speed everybody thought he would run. Looked crazy good in all the drills. Another guy I want to watch on tape. I know he didn't get a lot of balls in college, but I want to see what he did.
It's a lazy comp because they're Ohio State alums, but Curtis Samuel is what I keep thinking of when I watch Paris Campbell. So just a gadget type of player where you can put him in sweeps, put him in the Wildcat, put him out at receiver, and he'll just go out there and make a play.
A guy that did not help himself was Kelvin Harmon. He had kind of a rough day. Not particularly wonderful scores.
He underwhelmed for sure. But I mean, it comes down to what we've been saying this whole time. He's not elite with any of his traits, but he's very good to above average on his traits. So something like this doesn't really showcase him. He's definitely one of those, you watch the tape and you see what he can do in a game versus
way more complete, like a great route runner and all that stuff. So he's more of I still have him pretty high, but I dropped him a little bit after this weekend. A guy that really hurt his stock was probably little Jordan Humphrey. I've heard he probably will not even go drafted at this point.
Yeah, so Mark Jarvis was the first one on that train. I got to give him credit. What's on draft? Had an undrafted grade on him before the combine. So good job for him.
Yeah. Put on the list. Andy Isabella had the weird. I thought it was weird that the laser went off twice on him. And they adjusted a 4.56 and a 4.46 to 4.31. Wow.
Yeah, I was concerned with 4.56. I was like, what is going on here? And then when it got to 4.31, I was like, okay, I feel better.
All right. And then not really other. Debo Samuel actually tested better than I thought he would as well. And I really, really like him. I don't know how he fell to what he fall to 210 in our rookie draft. That's stupid. He should not fall that far. So
he's he'll be in the top 5 of my receivers.
Yeah, might as well. Then that's basically it. Is there any other names on the list that there was a couple guys that didn't help themselves a whole lot, but I didn't see anybody else that really hurt themselves.
No, that pretty much covered it with receivers. Jazz Ferguson was fun to see run a 4.45. Emmanuel Hall had the good broad jump and the 4.39 40. But like I've said before, he doesn't have hands, so that's the biggest problem with him. And then I think KJ Johnson or Keyshawn Johnson, he goes by KJ, running a 4.6 kind of underwhelmed a little bit because he's another one of those guys like Harmon where on tape he's a great route runner, very polished. So teams will just have to decide if they're going to go based off the combine or if they're going to go off of tape.
Well, if you watched him on tape, you could tell he wasn't that quick. So
right.
But there's so many guys here that did run quick that didn't look quick, and vice versa.
Yes, it's the opposite. Nobody expected this out of DK or Hakeem.
Right. It's kind of maddening when that's why you got to use this as a part of your evaluation process because it can be crazy trying to judge, what's what. And then the tight ends, Noah Fant, good Lord. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty nearly perfect. It's crazy.
We were there for all the tight end workouts and it was nice having Fant, Hawk, and Dawson Knox kind of go bang, 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 back to back to back. But Fant, he just balled out. It was just insane.
And it was beyond the scores. His measurables were amazing, but if you watched him run the gauntlet, first time he ran it looked like he wasn't even hardly trying. And the second time he was trying and hauling ass through there and catching everything. He's so much fun to watch. I think before this, I had Hawkinson 1 and Fant 2, and I think I have him flipped now. So I think Fant's it is tantalizing what he could possibly do. So
yeah, no, and then the other one who did really well was Irv Smith Jr. So I just think both the top 3 tight ends they could start right now for any team. Just because so many teams are doing the 2 tight end sets now and just rotational. Fant, you can even put in at receiver if you have to. I mean, there was times in Iowa where he was their slot receiver, so he has a versatility with that. Hawk is the better blocker, but Fant's an offensive weapon. He's just fantasy-wise, he's going to be insane.
Oh yeah, I would not be surprised to see him go top 10, top 15. The guy you liked that came in that I was impressed with was Keenan Brown.
Yes.
But he did really well on Saturday. He looked really great.
Yeah, on tape, he's very, very – I think I wrote in my draft profile of him is he's a big old piece of clay, and he hasn't been – he went to Texas State, so he doesn't have that elite type coaching like if he would have gone to an Alabama or an Ohio State. So you get him to the right team in the NFL, he can develop into a very serious weapon. He'll be one of those ones where he shouldn't take as long as Eric Ebron did to develop, but he's going to take a couple years where if you have him on your roster, he's going to be a taxi squad guy for a while, potentially, unless he goes to some insane place where he's going to put up weapons and be a red zone guy. But he's definitely one that I think can develop into something very nice in the future.
Yeah, Josh Oliver I thought he looked great too.
And he looked good in Mobile too. So yeah.
He ran a 4.63, a little bit about 6'4", 250. So he needs to put on a little bit of mass, hopefully. But yeah, I thought he looked great. And then all his other measurables were really good. Let me see if I can find his 3-cone. His 3-cone was 7.21, which was right there in the mix, basically. The quickest 3-cone of all the tight ends was, of course, Noah, by quite a bit. Then another guy that I had on my radar even that I thought looked really good was, I'm going to butcher this name, Kahale Warring from San Diego State.
Yeah,
he looked really good. Yep, he had a 4.67, 36-inch vert, 10.2 broad. Yeah, and I thought he looked really good in the drills. He had one drop, but probably the brightest lights he's been on, having played out in San Diego State. So
yeah, that's a running team out there too. I mean, they've put out Rashad Penny and
the
guy before Rashad Penny,
Marshall Falk.
Yeah. No.
I know.
Yeah, Rashad Penny and Marshall Falk are the two.
Marshall Falk was at San Diego State, damn it. I know what you mean, though. I can't think of who it was before him either. Was it Marshall Falk? Yeah, anyways. It wasn't Rashad. I can't think of who. I know who you're talking about, but I'm drawing a blank. The quickest 40 was Caleb Wilson. I thought he looked looked good too. So I'm really excited for the tight ends this year. I feel like there's guys that you can get in the 4th round of your rookie drafts that are going to be really good tight ends down the road. So
this tight end class is insane. I think offensively for us fantasy geeks, this tight end class is very, very, it goes tight ends, wide receivers, then definitely running backs and quarterbacks. But tight ends, you've probably got 6 to 8 tight ends that can get drafted realistically, depending on how many rounds your rookie draft has. So it'll be fun to see. Isaac Nada from Georgia too, just to throw in another name, didn't do that well. I expect him to bounce back at the Georgia Pro Day. He's another one of those guys on tape. Didn't get a lot of work, just like Riley Ridley didn't get a lot of work down in that Georgia passing game from Jake Fromm. And part of that's going to be Elijah Holyfield, DeAndre Swift, and everybody else down there taking away reps and time. So Isaac Nada, I think, he'll still be a top 10 tight end. I don't think he'll go undrafted or anything crazy. He's definitely going to fall. But if he falls to a value pick where say he goes to New England, he could be a pretty good sleeper pick for anybody.
Right. I know we didn't really plan on this. You want to go through the defensive guys super quick? Just put a couple out. Yeah, if you haven't heard by this point, Montez Sweat obviously made himself a couple $1 million this weekend. by running a 4.41, and he was already projected to be like top 15, 20. I think he's going to be top 10 now.
I think if Jacksonville signs Foles, I could see him going to Jacksonville.
Right. Or anybody. I mean, wow. 4.41. A 4.41 at 260 pounds. Good Lord. That is not right. That's why I kind of laugh a little bit when we compare players of these days to players back in the day, because I don't think there was a guy that was 6'5", 260 running a 4.40 back in 1985. But I don't know, man. Like these guys nowadays, they're insane. That's just nuts, man. Obviously, he made a lot of money. I think Rashawn Gary solidified his athleticism this weekend. I'm still I've been down on him, but I'm curious to see what if a team gets him that can mold him and let him play, in a position where he's comfortable. Watch out. You see, other than that, Ed Oliver weighed in great, which was really a high part that we were kind of worried about. Just kind of blazing through the list here real quick. I wasn't
just real quick to throw out a comparison. Myles Garrett, number 1 overall pick, and going to be a future Hall of Famer for my Cleveland Browns. 6'4", 272. Montez Sweat, 6'6", 260. Sweat ran the 4.41, and Garrett ran a 4.64.
Jesus.
And everyone thought Garrett was this insane specimen coming out of college. So Sweat, I'm not saying the type of prospect that Garrett is or was, but it's just to give you an idea. I mean, it's just insane that he put up that type of number.
Yeah, Rashawn Gary, 6'4", 277 at 4.58.
I was shocked by that. So, Devin Bush running the 4.4s too is surprising to me.
Yes.
5'11".
He's a guy that I have to warm up on him because I hate him because the team he played for. But man,
right,
you can't deny that athleticism at 5'11" and 235 for a linebacker. That's thick. And they're on a 4.43. That's nice.
Yeah, when I was watching Florida, not this past year, the year before, when they opened up the season against Michigan, the one guy I remembered, and I didn't know it until this past year, I put a name to the face. But it was just, I said to my wife, I said, the guy with the dreads is just flying all over the field, and I can't get his name. And it was Devin Bush. And he was just laying the lumber on everyone. He's flying all over the place. And for him to run a 4.43, I thought was insane. I mean, people are talking about him being the linebacker 1 over Devin White, which I think is a bit of an overreaction. But
I think White's more complete.
Yeah.
But there was a lot of, I think I said last week that a lot of the linebacking class would hurt themselves, and I think they actually helped themselves. A lot of them showed much better athleticism than we thought they would. A couple guys that stood out. Ben Burke-Irvin actually showed really good athletic scores. Blake Cashman from Minnesota looked amazing. He posted one of the best overall combine performances for a linebacker ever. Coming out of Minnesota, that's crazy. So a guy I want to dive into more. Gary Johnson looked 4.43. Yeah, I mean, these guys are quick, and that's Jermaine Pratt looked really good. Ty Summers. There's these guys that, Devin White ran a 4.42, which is stupid in itself. And these guys are running these scores. Yeah.
White to fall 17. I said coming into the weekend, and he's not going to be there at 17 for Cleveland.
Right there is. Let me see here. I'm just going to do a quick count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 linebackers run under a 4.55, which is, I mean, that's quicker than most of the running backs that tested, Yeah. So, I mean, I know the speed isn't everything, but they also posted just great 3 cones, like 6.85 for Ben Burke-Irvin. That's crazy. That's a really good 3 cone. So, and he's a guy that I like. So I'm gonna really dive into this linebacker class more. You'll hear me talking more about him on Devy Happy Hour, and then I was really impressed with them. Defensive backs and safeties, I didn't hear of any great performances. There wasn't the fastest. I think the fastest in the combine was Jamel Dean at Auburn, ran a 4.3 flat. So
somebody from Mississippi ran a 4.29. Where are
DB? I didn't see him.
Yeah, he did it with his second Ken Webster. No, where is he?
They might have adjusted it though. Ken Webster.
No, because they had Rich Eisen run with them. Maybe he was safety too.
Oh, there it is. Zedrick Woods from Mississippi.
Yes, that's it.
There you go. So he's the quickest. But
yeah, no. Greedy Williams. I have an article coming out tomorrow on the Score Crow with my winners and losers on offense and defense. 2 separate articles. Greedy Williams I had as a winner because with his frame and him being able to run a 4.37, like that was the last question everyone was kind of having with him was, can he be fast with that 6'2", 185-pound frame? And the answer is yes. So I think he should be an insert starter on whatever team he goes with. We keep saying a top 10 pick, but there's only 10 picks, and there's so many backs and everything else. But he's deserving of being a top 10 player in this class. We'll put it that way.
Locked in as the top cornerback for sure. I think that performance definitely helps. So, man, there are some scores here, man. I want to go. I wish I could take the week off and just go dive into tape, man. Like, there are some names here that I'm like, man, I haven't watched much of him. I need to go watch. You know, so yeah. Well, anyways, that's what Andrew and I will be doing for the next 6 weeks. So,
I know. I told my wife, I said, I'm so happy and I love doing this. I said, I don't even do it full time. I think if I would, I'd have a little bit more energy with it. But I'm very excited for May to just take some time and not have to worry about breaking everything down. And now the combine's done, pro days are kind of just hit or miss as far as importance. So we're really on the last home stretch of the draft. And from there, this should be smooth sailing. So I'm pretty excited to see where it all goes.
Right. Yeah, I'm looking forward to watching a lot of tape. And I'm kind of excited because this is my slow season at my work. So, well, my DJ job. So, yeah, once May hits, that's when I get busy there too. So, should be fun, man. Real quick, if anybody doesn't know, Andrew and I have Devy rankings. They're over at Dynasty Happy Hour. Just you got to search in there, look under the rankings. We have Devy rankings that we do in there. So if you're curious about that, we also both rank the rookies along with a couple of the staff members there. So we'll plug that real quick before we get out of here. But that's it for this week. Andrew, let everybody know where they can find all your work at, man.
We talked about this over the weekend too. They can find all my work and everything I do in my Twitter handle, which has changed, which is at Mandrew NFL Draft. The 3 sites I write for are 2 pods we got. I won't take up too much time with everybody going through that, but I will end too, just to throw out a quick shout out to a loyal listener and somebody I rely on for a lot of injury news and breakdowns. Her name is Beth Sullivan at GA Peach Polymer. She's having her she's having a round of chemo this week. So even with all of that, she was still answering questions for me about Kendall Sheffield's pec and Dexter Lawrence's hamstring and everybody else talking about our Todd Gurley's arthritis. And she's like the team doctor for Score Crow. So shout out to her that she does well this week.
That wasn't her hollering in the background. No.
Asleep.
Gotcha. Yeah. Good luck, Beth. Jeez. Yeah. Hopefully everything goes well, man. That's wow. Anyways, yeah, I'm same as Andrew. I'm kind of doing stuff a little everywhere, trying to get my name out. So we'll just, FF People's Champ. You can find us at Devy Manual on Twitter and Devy Owners Manual at gmail.com. If you want to write us some questions, send us some pictures of your rosters. We'd love it if you sent us a picture of your roster and a picture of the available Devy players and how much money you got. We'll do that. We'll say, hey, target this guy, this guy, this guy. We'll gladly do that for you. Anything you want, or just tweet us, ask us. I think we both exist on Twitter a lot. I think Andrew stalks people on Twitter, I swear.
No, I don't mean to. I just have stuff pop up right at the right time.
It's all right. And you'll catch us also later this week on Devy Happy Hour. We will have a mock draft with a couple of gentlemen that we really enjoy in the industry. So catch us there, and we will talk to you guys soon. I don't know how to wrap that up. Sounds good.
Do you follow Patrick Chamberlain on Twitter?